The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach do we go, dear friends. As we start off the show, we're up 1.5 points on the S&P. The Dow's up 16 and the Nasdaq's up 5 and change. Crude's up about 30 cents. And I don't know if you can say anything other than that. Once again, we want to take a look at the volume coming in. And, of course, today's been mostly waiting for the FOMC meeting notes. Those came out here just about 5 minutes ago. Not much to report other than the fact that normally they like to say that there's a unanimous decision on everything. They've got enough votes to get the rate hike for December in, but the other little more than a third is split two ways. So you've got kind of a fractured Fed. And, of course, we're looking at a new Fed president here fairly shortly. And I think I don't know when the announcement comes out, but I'm pretty sure who it is. Lots of people have said it's going to be somebody else. And those people have been quickly shot down by the White House. So what's the guy that said somebody was going to be the Fed president last week? Can't remember. It's the guy that does all the slideshows. Garlic. It took all of an hour for the White House to go out and go, nope, he's not asked to be the head of it. So I go back to the guy that I think it's going to be. But we're probably going to find that out. My guess is before October is over. And they will get to vet him. But he's been around for a while, and he was a disciple of Bernanke's, but didn't agree with him. He basically said that you'll have low growth, but instituted all of Bernanke's policies anyway, as a local loyal soldier would, but never agreed with it. Anyway, 1.5 points, no big deal on the S&P. It kind of sold off a little at the beginning, and then we're basically hovering around the highs of the day, but that's 1.5 points higher. Again, 1.6 billion shares on the NYSE. Consolidated tape is fairly light for volume, and I mean that tongue-in-cheek. It's ridiculously light for an October day. We'll see whether the next couple hours see any kind of volume come in, but we haven't had anything. Monday was ridiculously short. Yesterday, for the big push higher, was again pretty ridiculously low. Today, we may even have less volume than we had yesterday, somewhere between Monday and Tuesdays. But again, there isn't any big push to get in front of anything here in the next few days. Some people think we're waiting for earnings, but I think they're going to be disappointed when those earnings come out. But we shall see. As always, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. Of course, and we always come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
I made him wait for it today.
There it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day, novelist Elmore Leonard was born in New Orleans. His father worked for General Motors. Family moved frequently during his childhood, finally settling in Detroit. By 1983, he had written 23 novels, including 52 Pickup, Swag, Stick, which became big sellers. 92 Rum Punch, which was made into the movie Jackie Brown with by Quentin Tarantino. I actually thought that was a very good movie, although a lot of people a little more subdued didn't like it. I thought it was actually one of his better movies. Also a little bit in 1990, Get Shorty, with John Travolta in 1995. A lot of other movies and huge impact in novels and TV and television. If you just look him up, this guy is a murderer's row of absolutely great Western movies. Some with a lot of the proverbial Western people you know. I actually think that why his books were pretty good. One of the best TV series of all times doesn't get much play. It's on Netflix, or not Netflix, it's on Amazon. And if you want to check it out, it's called Justified. But for a kind of a low-budget TV show on cable, maybe one of the best TV series that didn't have like a HBO monster budget. And certainly the flavor of the Western that was always around. But I like Deadwood. This is kind of a lot of the people around Deadwood, but in an Elmore Leonard movie. Anyway, it's called Justified. You might want to check it out. But just everything he's done is great. And if you saw No Country for Old Men, the guy basically that wrote it said, hey, I just channeled Elmore Leonard. But great writer, several movies, a lot of other stuff on this day in 1925. What else is going on here? Okay, you know what? We're still $1.50 higher in the S&P. I was watching the news last night, and the weatherman was basically saying we're stuck down here with a high pressure area that just will not move. He said he thought that it would take 10 days and maybe a nuclear weapon to get it out of Florida. We continue to have July and August weather all the way here, but I'm wondering if that isn't going to be the same thing. It's going to take some kind of major event to push this high pressure area off of us and get us moving. We'll see before the end of the day. One of the things that is happening today, options expiration starts with the options market makers going delta neutral, and they've been selling every call they can today, which is not much because of the narrow trading range. So we'll see how this thing goes over the next couple of hours before the end of the day. But either they're not expecting much upside or no upside, but right now they're trying to push out as many calls as they can. That would suggest that tomorrow would be a down day, and they would start selling puts, and then you'll see what happens, I think, the rest. But we may, just because of the Columbus Day and then pushing the EIA numbers back and the natural gas numbers back, we may get the kind of volatility that we've been hoping for as traders, but tomorrow. We may even get it before the end of the day. But they're going to need to start moving to get these options all cleaned up for expiration a week from Friday. We'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we're back, and we had a whole point higher during the breakout here. We're up 2.5 points now on the S&P cash. Be still my heart. So what else we have going out here? This morning, had an email from somebody, one of our subscribers, basically told me the stock was down last night. By the time the market opened, I saw 6, and found later another one. 7, buy the dip. Buy this now. Buy any lower price. And it made me think of Mark Twain's quote, whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to pause and reflect. And just that kind of knee-jerk, whatever you do, buy, always is one of those things that makes me think that it's just not that easy. Trading in stock markets isn't. And people are getting trained to do some pretty horrific stuff in the near future. Since I've been through 2 of those cycles already, the dot-com craze and the housing bubble, I am wary and more interested in keeping my nest egg than making some money when I know that at any moment I could stand on a landmine and lose a leg, or even worse. But we'll keep an eye on it. But there's some times when you just kind of, I guess after the number of years, you start to think about it. I brought it up last fall, and that was Amazon. Everybody I knew was long. Everybody had to buy every dip. And then it dropped 140, 150 points all during one earnings call. I get the same feeling here. I can't find anybody. I get people that keep telling me that people are shorting during the day and covering at the end of the day. There's no evidence of that. I can't always say that I'm on the right side, but always, we're up 2.5 points or something on the S&P cash. What does that mean? Well, not a whole lot. But we'll see how the end of the day comes in. Let's go ahead and start looking at some charts. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. We'll take a look at some other things going on out in the market today. You can email me at path@tfnn.com, of course, and you can always email me, or you can always, what else can you do? Don't know. You can call me. You can email me. Oh, you can put a message in the den. Almost forgot about that. Anyway, we're going to look at a few stocks that I think are interesting over the last couple of days. The most interesting thing to me is that we're starting to see stocks that are acting fairly bearish. And not only bearish at swing points, but bearish between the legs up and down. We've had 8-9 months of decent volume on the downside, and then even more volume on the upside. What we are seeing a great deal of, and I showed in the newsletter this morning, are a bunch of these stocks where the energy was off significantly, 10, 20, 30% on this last leg up. And, you know, a leg down from end of July to the mid part of August should have had the lightest volume typically. We actually had some decent volume in that, and the volume has gotten all nothingness, and even into October now, still nothingness. The CBRE group is kind of what we're talking about, and that is you had a strong leg down from the July 27th high, about 2.8 million shares on that high, down to 2.9 million shares on the August 18th low. Once you came up, the energy dropped off about 20% back up to this high. You needed 2.8 million shares. Today we got about 1.1 million shares. Yesterday, 1.2 million shares. Day before that, you get the idea. I think the most we had was 1.5 million shares. So at some point, almost half of the volume of the previous July 27th high. But not only do you have that, but you have what I call being congruent. Not only were the highs telling us the same thing, but the energy from that high to the low and from the low to the high basically does the same thing. So we'll look at a few other ones out here today. Another one on that same kind of path, maybe even a little tougher on the energy from the way up, is EDU, New Oriental Education. 94.30 was the September 13th high. You had 2.3 million shares. You came down to the September 25th low at 81.34. Then we popped back up, challenged the previous high, did so with about 1 million shares. If you want to talk about 1.8 million shares on the third, you can, but you still needed somewhere around 2.3 million shares. So 500,000 shares light and about 25% lighter energy from that September 25th low back up. So again, I'm starting to see a theme of these stocks. Okay, and TZA is starting to move, and we're only up half a point now on the S&P cash. Thanks, Dude Ed in the den, who put down the Russell was leaving the station. If we have any home gamers at home. Esperon Therapeutics. This is what made me think that a lot of the healthcare really had some gaping holes in it, and we haven't seen much. But I've seen a lot of these bios out here that have kind of had this pattern, and that is you had a big spike on August 8th. That's 57.38, and ESPR came all the way down to $43.06 on August 22nd. Went all the way back up. Now we're going against that 4 million share high, but the last few days, 300,000, 300,000, 450,000 yesterday, 137,000 today. Not much in the way of rollover just yet. But when you look at the energy down from those August highs and some of those July highs down to the August lows or the early September lows, back up to these highs. This was a 2.6 on my power law vector indicator number on the way down and a 1.8 on the way up. So these things are fairly logarithmic. So that's fairly that's a fairly light move back up to the top for that one. KLXI. Another one out here. Now this one didn't have so much, and that's why I wanted to kind of point this one out. I like to see that energy on the way down expand and then contract on the way up. Now you have on this one a very light test of the previous high, and this thing's starting to pull back. But normally, even when you get a light test of the high, if the energy was fairly decent on the way up, you're going to get at least a couple of tests until all the energy's out of this thing. And that's why I kind of tend to shade away from these. But anyway, 300,000 shares compared to almost 1 million on the August 8th high. This one's already kind of starting to pull back. So not a buy signal, but you get a little bit higher on this one and no volume. And this one also could see some fairly decent pullbacks just on the highs. But again, I think there's a lot of these that off those September lows just had no juice. I think they are prime opportunities.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And, well, what are we at? Oh, we're up 1 point on the S&P now. So it's kind of bouncing around a little bit. Again, When we're talking about volume, 1.77 billion shares. Pretty quiet on the Western front, not a lot happening. My guess is as hard as they were selling calls this morning, they'll be selling puts tomorrow. And that will probably tell us a little bit more about where this market's headed. So a lot of times, you'll get a day off or a vacation day. I didn't think Columbus Day would really matter that much. Normally, they get in front of these things a little bit more in options expiration. But there is no clear signal yet. I ran something before the show started, and it just looked to me like these guys were really, as the market started to push higher in the morning, really actively selling puts. Normally what will happen after that is they'll really start selling calls. Then they'll flip the market the other way, at least for a little bit. So I'm not going to be surprised to see this market down at least for tomorrow. And then we're going to probably have a better look at here. Of course, the volume has been pathetic for the last 3 days. I don't see anything that changes that in the first 30 minutes of this show. We'll continue looking on some of these other stocks. To MFC, Manulife Financial, again, good indication of some of the, this is a fairly strong pattern of the last few days of my scans. That is light tests of previous highs. And then when you start digging in, I start seeing a lot of energy down. In this case, July 25th was the high, $20.84, got down to the August 11th low at 19.15, and slowly has made its way all the way back up to this high on half the volume of that high of July 25th. Yesterday we had 3.5 million shares. Today, 2 million shares so far. But energy is off by a good fourth and 25% for you people in Lutz. And you got a high out here. Not surprising when you see the energy come off from a low back up to the high. That's 25% more or less than the high to low, that you're going to see some kind of whiff when it comes to these highs on light volume. NATI, which is National Instrument Corporation. This one, again, energy off about 15, maybe 20%. July 26, $43.74, 750,000 shares. Yesterday we had 468,000 shares. Today, 400,000 shares. You might get into the 550, 600,000 shares today. Still going to be a little light off that July 26th high. What you really have to worry about is the kind of lighter energy all the way back up here. NEWR, which is New Relic, and this one is broken above the previous high, never got its sign of strength. Looks like it's going to come back in. But one of these things that this is one of the ones where you watch and you can see that the wheels can fall off the wagon in a day on this one. So you might want to put this on your list. NEWR 49.19, which is the July 19th high, had 1.1 million shares. We went through that with 300,000 shares on the 6th, 200,000 shares on the 9th. Yesterday we had 230,000 shares. Now it's kind of down a little bit and kind of equal with yesterday's close. Any close below 49.19 could see massive and quick pullback to the 42.68 level. So keep an eye on that one. If this market does roll, that is one that is kind of lined up there, although it has not given the signal yet. National Storage Trust, NSA. This is like a REIT for storage facilities, if I'm not mistaken. June 27th saw the high at 24.50, 3 million shares. We've gotten into that with basically 1/10 of that 3 days ago. Yesterday, 200,000 shares. Today, 200,000 shares, a little bit more. So keep an eye on that. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. Question about looking in on Moz, M-O-S, the Mosaic Company. Well, you got nothing. This thing's in a triangle until it busts out. I can't give you a read one way or the other than whichever way it goes and busts out of this bigger triangle that this thing is in. You probably want to fade the direction when it breaks out. So I would say neither long nor short. But ideally, if you wanted to go long, you want this thing to bust out of the triangle and to go lower for 2-3 days and then start seeing this thing move back up, which is not inconsistent. If the market pulls back, you might see a lot of people that are looking for some of these things. Let's just make sure. Every time I see Mosaic, I keep on thinking one thing. Concentrated phosphates and potash crop nutrients worldwide. A lot of times this is the kind of safety stock you're looking for. People always got to eat, and if the market does top, agriculture is a great place to go and hide, because ain't nobody going to try to quit eating, especially Americans. We're the biggest, fattest people in the world. We aren't about to go one day without having some M&Ms. And why these guys don't deal in that. You got to have a big steak dinner before you have your dessert. And that's what these guys do. They make all the phosphates and potash so that we can eat and be big, fat Americans. So keep an eye on it. I like the idea that you're looking at this. I just don't have anything to add to it until this thing breaks one way or the other. It's just going sideways at this point. So thanks for the email, Mr. Radio Show listener. Oh, it's Bob from Colorado. Okay, thanks, Bob. We'll look at some other ones out here. Oh, we'll go back to those. NVIDIA tested its high. We got another push out here today. Of course, we're looking for the volume of the 18th of September. That had 42 million shares. Yesterday, we came in with 24 million shares. Today, just about 11 million shares so far. And again, another 20 articles on why you needed to buy NVIDIA. That always puts a red flag up for me. You're testing a previous high on lighter volume. This is the poster child for this bubble in the semis, but doesn't look all that strong to me. And again, as I told you, this is the pattern that I love, and that is when you get the energy off the top, September 18th down to September 25th, you had a 9.9 on the power law vector indicator number. That's the energy between the high and the low. September 25th, you actually, up to this high yesterday, you just had a 6.4. So you had a little bit of juice, but not near enough yesterday. As I said, there's probably better shorts out here in the market. This is one of the few stocks that people are shorting. This and Tesla, a couple other ones out there, but there aren't a lot of shorts in the market. Those probably are better picks than these that get all the attention. I'd look, it's kind of like going to the second page of advertising. The first page, of course, got the big ads. We want the medium and smaller ads. So dig a little deeper.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're back. Okay. Got a request to look at the XRT, which is the Spiders Retail Index. Thinking, is there any kind of low in here for Christmas? Well, the chart looks horrible. September 23rd, you had $40.20, 3.5 million shares. Today, you're down with 8 million shares. You got another 6 cents to go to actually test that low. If you're just looking at the energy off the high, the October 3rd high, we're coming down on about 20% more energy than we went up to that high on from the September 22nd low. So I don't see anything out here that says that this doesn't break and even go lower into Christmas based on Amazon literally eating everything. I would think that if you were looking at this as a long, you want this $37.72 low tested August 21st. Let's take a quick look at Amazon. I was watching a deal where Amazon has been quietly picking up a great deal of all the mall space in these closed malls because, of course, they can buy a lot of space and put stuff right in the town, and no one wants to buy these huge land masses other than people putting in condos in that same space. Because normally these malls are in fairly decent areas for, 4-lane highways and interstates and a lot of other stuff. So generally, people kind of like the access. And of course, if you knock down everything, including the parking lots, a lot of room can be had very quickly. And, there's a lot of tear down to be done. A lot of people don't like it. So Amazon's been pulling these things up. We've been looking at this $1,000 level for a while as this thing bounces between. Now, what you do have in Amazon is this high volume low back on September 26th that just makes this thing look like it continues to be in a trading range from the 930s back up into the $1,000 mark. The difference now, though, is you're going into Christmas, and these guys apparently are probably going to, I'm waiting for the announcement that Amazon.com is going to take over and get into the business of hosting financial trading shows during the day. That's got to be the next one. What I dislike about this is, of course, the energy coming up is exactly what I've talked about in every other one of these charts today. That is that June, July, August highs, they came back down, they bounced back up. In this case, off that September 13th high, back down to the September 26th low. You had a 2.6 on the power law vector indicator, and now from that September 26th low to the high of October 8th, you had a 2.2. Now, this is where the volume surely should have picked up. So Amazon's not ever been on my short register. If you were thinking about either being long or short, I certainly would be using options. I wouldn't be playing an equity in this. But this is the best looking one, and the energy has significantly come off on the way back up. So there's not a lot of juice to push these things a lot higher. And that's probably at the best, if you want to be long, you're hoping that the market just goes sideways for 2 weeks and kind of burns off this huge overbought condition in the marketplace. If you're looking a little jaundiced at this market, thinking that it's the most overpriced market since 1880, and there's some fairly significant reasons to believe that is true, just keep an eye on it. Anyway, we've got what kind of volume right here? See if anything's coming in. 1.85 billion shares. So we're going to probably have lighter volume than yesterday. It has not picked up from the FOMC meeting. So we went right from waiting for the FOMC meeting notes to probably earnings in the morning. And we'll see what those have to say. 25.52 on the S&P cash, up 1.5. And again, no juice. Let's take a look at some other ones out here. We talked about USG the last couple of days. I wanted to check in and see what's happening on this. Does it have juice today? September 8th, we had 6.5 million shares. Yesterday, 2.7 million shares. Today, just 700,000 shares, slightly higher high. And this really, again, is the pattern we're looking at from the September 8th high down to the September 19th low at a 5.1 on the power law vector indicator number. On the way back up to this high today, a 3.3. So you've got basically a very light juice back up here, which may be pointing again to finally some kind of significant high in the housing market. Let's take a look at a few other ones out here. Nothing in that one. What's this one? Web.com group, WEB. This one, just a light volume, or not a light volume, actually a higher volume test than the previous high. So this one may go back and retest yesterday's high of 25.80. Trying to remember what else is out here. WETF, Wisdom Tree Investments. This one's up today, going back into some fairly strong resistance levels. You want about 3 million shares. This thing's gone sideways for several days with under 1 million shares. Little request to run through the FANG stocks real quick. Again, you can email me at path@tfnn.com. Microsoft out last week with some fairly decent discussions of their augmented reality devices. Facebook having its dog and pony today. We'll take a look at it right after this one. Just a little bit of sideways action on this. Again, you're looking for about 27 million shares. We've been well below that. See, 21 million shares on the 5th. The 6th, we had 14 million shares. The 9th, we had 12 million shares. Yesterday, 14 million shares. Today, 8.3 million shares so far. Again, there aren't too many stocks out here that had the same energy or more energy on the way back up from these lows. September 25th low in Microsoft from that September 18th high when this thing pulled back. A 10 on the way down and a 7.8 on the way up. Again, I'd probably be shorting other stocks than Microsoft, But this one's 20% off the lows, and that's into September. We should have had nothing but juice in this thing moving up if it's going to continue to roll the rest of this fall. And this is probably one of the strongest stocks along with some of the others ones out here. So let's take a look at Fake Book fairly quick. Fake Book is bouncing around the 175 high of July 27th. You had almost 69 million shares that day, got into it with 18 million shares on the 12th of September. On the 9th of October, you spiked it with a little less than 15 million shares. 12 million shares yesterday, 8 million shares so far. I think 164 out here is open on this thing. We'll be back in a minute.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Come join me next hour as we bisect and dissect these markets, right here on TFNN. Wow!
And we've got just a couple minutes to go. No big movement out here today. I continue to see a lot of call selling, which normally precedes a move to the other direction, at least for a day, going into options expiration. The thought is you try to push the market up as much as you can, sell as many calls, and then you push the market down, sell as many puts, and hopefully by that time you've hedged out both sides for expiration. So I would not be surprised to see a fairly decent pullback yesterday. If it goes more than that, we might actually get a signal. But right now, it looks to me like option market makers are thinking that tomorrow is going to be a down day. And at that point, we're going to start looking at what happens. But, for a day or two, is it impossible for option market makers and the street guys to push the market around a little bit? No. It's actually happens a lot. So we'll see. But I don't see anything out here other than maybe we take a quick look at the TZA. Because that one actually has kind of reversed. I like this pattern. And that is that this thing has done nothing go sideways for 5 days. And a lot of times when you get a market like that, we've had that kind of in other indexes too. Pretty good inflection point, at least in the short term. We'll talk about the long term later. And that's about it. We got no volume. We're at highs. We're still under 2 billion shares on the NYSE, and this is in October. So volume is squat. 1.909 billion shares on the NYSE consolidated tape. A year ago, we'd be doing 2.5 billion, 2.6, 2.7 billion shares at this time. So volume is not really doing much. Now, you might say that that's because of high-frequency traders leaving. That may be part of it, but I think there is a very low volatility, low volume market, and that kind of makes it tough for the huge bull story. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. See you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.